is it okay that foreigners take over some of Singaporeans' jobs?
Or Chinese interviewer will choose Chinese person.
I think some people cannot admit the fact that foreigners are just better than you. Welcome back to another episode of Anything Love Podcast.
Yay!
Yeah, and again we have I'm Ivan, and you are?
I'm Akash.
Very good, good boy. Okay, so today we'll be talking about something very interesting. Singapore's very own sandwiched generation. What thoughts do you have before we dive into the questions today, Akash?
Wait, first, let me ask you a very important question.
Sure, go ahead.
For those who are not sure, what is the sandwich generation?
Sandwich generation is the age between, I would say 30 to probably around 40, 45, around there. So those are the millennials that are facing job insecurity right now, financial insecurity, and also the caregiver's burden. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Which is
You
they
need to
have
take,
to
fill out pipe.
Yeah,
you need to take care of your parents.
they have to take care of their parents and also juggle, their work, and some of them even have children, right? For example, our parents are, well, they are not in the millennial generation, are they?
I think they just missed it.
Yeah, just missed it, right? But thankfully, our parents are not in the millennial generation. But I think right now millennials are under the most stress. Would you agree?
I would agree, but they're also the biggest complainers. So, you can't really tell if it really is just stress or they are a bit soft. Yeah. But I would agree. I would agree that they're quite stressed.
Okay. Well, this week's podcast, we are going to move away, just away for like one episode of sports and more of the more entertaining stuff. And we'll be talking more about the relatability of Singaporeans' life for now, right? And then next episode, then we'll talk about sports and things you guys want to see. So comment down below. Anything, just drop us a DM also can. And we can talk about it anytime, right? Because we are very good friends, so we can talk about almost anything together, honestly.
Right? I feel like you can anything
Anything love podcast, yes, correct. That is the way. Okay, so for this episode, there are a few questions that I'll ask you, Akash. And we just have a casual conversation on it.
Of course. And leave you guys thoughts on the questions. And let us know if you think, our opinions, you disagree or whatever. It's perfectly fine. We just want to hear what you guys think.
Disclaimer, we do not have any political bias or anything.
No affiliation to any generation.
No affiliation
nothing.
To anything. It's just our 2 cents.
Casual choice.
Casual conversation, talk. Anything Lao podcast. Literally, it's called Anything Lao podcast when we talk about anything based on our own opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is for you, Akash. Is Singapore's current job market flexible enough to support the sandwiched generation juggling caregiving and career growth?
I would say no, but we're getting there because maybe like the reform of Singapore has slowed down a bit. We've gotten a bit comfortable in terms of policies and kind of like revolutionize Singapore because we've gotten to a point where we are far overachieving what we expected to when we started off as a nation. But I think Lawrence Wong and the 4th Gen team, they recognize that it's stalling a bit, and they're trying to roll out new measures like increase maternal care, paternal care, all that. And so that is helping to make the job market more flexible in terms of leave, in terms of employee welfare.
But have you ever had conversations with your parents, or for me I have that are they still under that kind of stress and pressure in the workplace?
Of course, I would say my parents in particular, they work in banks, so naturally it's quite a stressful field. And my mom in particular, she works in quite a heavy, banking operation kind of role. So it's like every day you're doing documents,
so it's
very important, and you have to check out all the MAS regulations and all that. Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure on her. But I think my parents are like Gen X, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I would say they're more like hardened generation.
Gen X is
before millennials.
Older than boomer or
younger than boomer.
Younger than boomer.
Yeah, they're in between boomer and millennial. Yes.
I see.
So I would say they're more hardened, and of course they have migrated here from India. So they obviously they are like well qualified for their jobs, and I would say my mom is overqualified for her current job. So they don't. Of course, a few days they'll come and say like, "Oh, today was very tiring. So maybe like let's let's chill out with the dinner. Maybe I'll make something simple, something like that. But in general, I would say that they're quite good at adapting to the workplace stress, and they don't really complain a lot. I think it's not in their their upbringing to be mourners.
Yeah.
They're just grateful to be in such a prosperous nation.
But on that note, do you think your parents are necessarily stressed at work, or do you think they're fine, they're okay?
I would say they're not constantly stressed. It's not like a constant thing, but there are definitely periods I will notice where my dad will be like quite tired for like the whole week, and you can tell that he's been having an intensive week.
It's from the workplace stress lah.
Yeah, but my dad works for MNC. I'm not gonna drop the actual company name.
Okay.
But yeah, so he works for MNC. So I'll say they are more chill. They have like the more of the Western culture in terms of leave and work culture. So I would say it gets busy at times, but in general, I would say he has quite a flexible schedule, and it's I won't say chill because his role is still quite important.
Yeah.
But I would say if compared to like working in as a smaller company or like a different bank, I would say it's definitely less stressful.
Definitely less stressful. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the same for my parents lah. I mean, both my parents work as admin jobs, but not in the same company. My mom works for a SME, you would say, and my dad works.
I meant to say SME just now. I said SMC by mistake.
Oh, you said SMC. We're not in a political.
We're
not in a political GE anymore. Okay, but my mom works in an SME, and my dad works. You can say between an SME and an MNC. Not so big, not so small.
Medium.
So size. Medium size lah, but not an MNC yet. And I would say they're stressed.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say they're stressed because of, I don't know. I think right now everybody.
But admin jobs in general are quite stressful. No?
Yeah, you deal with a lot of logistics and stuff like that, which I think,
and it's very easy to go wrong.
Yeah,
they
are like well suited for the job, as in because they have so much work experience, right?
Yeah.
But time to time, I think stress will still come knocking on your door.
Yeah,
don't you think, right? And I think I can see the stress on their faces. Like I also have a sister. You have a brother, but it's in secondary school, right?
Yeah.
My sister is a primary 6, so I think they still have to juggle the caregiving part and also the career part as well. But on that note, do you think that, okay, this is a bit off topic, but do you think that since your parents are foreigners, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that foreigners coming to Singapore, it's okay for Singapore? Is it okay that foreigners take over some of Singaporeans' jobs?
So personally, right, we are PRs and we are fully intending to take citizenship. I've been here since I'm 3, so I would say I feel more Singaporean than any other nationality.
Yeah.
But in terms of taking over jobs, I think it's a hard topic to debate because if you look at it from the foreigner's point of view, they're coming here for a better point of life.
Correct.
Most of them are well qualified.
Correct. So like your parents, I would say.
Yeah, they have studied whatever is necessary to come here. They don't just come here by luck. And I'm not talking about like some of the migrant workers come construction. I assume you're talking about like the high level talent, the talent who
I would say in general. So I'll say in general.
Yeah, in terms of migrant workers, I think we need them for sure. That one's not a debate because they are like the foundations of our nation. They have built everything up, and still we rely on them heavily for construction. And that's something you can maybe discuss in another episode because I feel like migrant welfare is something which needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
But going back to the talent pool, I think it's necessary because it keeps Singaporeans a bit on edge. It will keep them constantly growing. Like the Skills Future programs and all, like I don't think a lot of people will be pushing to take them if there's no competition. Now, not only is there competition from other Singaporeans who are very well educated, there's talent from foreign. I mean, there's competition from foreign talent as well. So that I think that keeps Singaporeans on the toes. So I think it is necessary. Obviously, we shouldn't go overboard with it. And I think yes, the foreign policy we currently have is quite sustainable, I would say. I feel a lot of people overreact because they see the numbers. Oh my God, these many immigrants came last year. They're taking away my kids' jobs.
Correct.
But then what they don't understand is the jobs will keep growing. So it is not limited like, 1 million people came means 1 million jobs are there left and 1 million are all gone. There's going to be more jobs than that. So it's about you personally, if you cannot compete with a foreign talent, that's a bit of a skill issue. You should
That's true.
you should level
That's true,
up.
that's
You should
true.
keep leveling up.
And I know that immigration is a very sensitive topic, right? But
Yeah.
honestly, I have the exact same views as you.
Mm.
I believe that yes, foreigners coming in, yeah, they'll take over jobs, but that is completely up to your skill level and your talents and what you have to offer, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, right now, even with AI, taking over the future and also of right now, right?
Yeah.
Recently, a news article, Microsoft has retrenched, I think, 3K
Oh
of
my
their
God.
employees, right?
Yeah.
Just because they want to expand more on their AI
Side.
side of things. And they just had to retrench these employees. And I think that this is the same aspect of foreigners taking over locals in a sense.
Yeah, but instead of
this
other
repetitive
humans,
jobs,
it's gonna
yeah,
be AI taking over.
it's repetitive jobs. So I think this issue is it's sensitive, but I think some people cannot admit the fact that foreigners are just better than you.
Yeah.
That's very controversial.
That's a key
but
issue.
That is very true. I would say even for us, right? We are in polytechnic, but I think we have seen our parents. I mean, they have built up their skill all over the years. That's why some foreigners cannot take over our parents' jobs.
Yeah.
That is why lah. And I mean, your parents are foreigners, and maybe they took over some locals' jobs because they're better than the locals at their
100%.
job, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is perfectly fine lah. And yeah, it's a sensitive topic, but I think it's good to touch on it, right?
Yes, of course, and it does touch on the job market being flexible because
Yeah.
it really, I would say Singapore is one of the more unbiased job markets. There's not really a lot of nepotism. There's not a lot of favoritism in terms of Chinese interviewer will choose Chinese person, or Raffles Institution interviewer will choose a RI kid. I think so, but you may disagree. But I think we are quite a fair job market in where you are looked at as a meritocracy. Singapore, there's a buzzword which is thrown around by the government a lot, and I think in essence we still are a meritocracy. It's kind of eroding a bit, but we are a meritocracy.
Okay lah, I would say so lah. Yeah. But when you talk about, let's say, a Chinese interviewee choosing a Chinese interviewee, this kind of thing, right, is quite sensitive and all that. But I don't know. Maybe it happens, right?
I would say I would like to think it doesn't.
I would think in general, yeah. I think there is no racism in Singapore, but well, I mean,
but like you see in other countries, right? There's a lot of things like they have to enforce the diversity quota because some companies are just hiring too many of the same race just because it's like the CEO or the HR is of a certain race. So then they are forced to implement a diversity quota, etc., or like other measurements, and that's something we don't really have to do in Singapore.
Oh yeah, do you know? Speaking on diversity quota, right? There's another quota for if you are a Singapore-based company, or if you open your company in Singapore. This is completely business knowledge, just business knowledge that I've heard from my friends there because he owns a renovation company, and he told me that you have to have a local employee quota that you have to hit. Do you know that?
I've heard something similar before. Yeah. I remember my parents mentioned like inside in Indian restaurants there will be Chinese servers as well because you have to have a number of locals.
But is that in Singapore or?
In Singapore.
Yeah.
Because it's an Indian restaurant, right? Then generally you expect like Indians, people work there. Yeah. But then I remember one time I went to the restaurant and it was like just all Chinese servers. And
really?
All. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
it's crazy,
man. And I'm like, oh my god, why is so many Chinese servers in an Indian restaurant? It's normal because Chinese is a majority here.
Yeah.
But still a bit out of place in Indian restaurant. Then my mom was telling me, oh, there is a quota. You have to have a minimum of local people, and you can't keep hiring people of the same race.
Yeah, because I think most businesses will also think of, I mean, local employees are so expensive. They just want to go. I mean, okay, let's say our neighboring country, Malaysia, right? Malaysians are also looking for better.
Yeah, you can't exploit
job opportunities, right? And I think a lot of local businesses are trying to exploit that kind of loophole, in a sense, which I think it's good that Singapore has.
Then what do you think about freelancing overseas? Like I would say outsourcing is becoming very common now, like especially in software and all. There are like these freelancing websites where you can outsource to developers in India, Vietnam, who do it for like a fraction of the price a Singapore freelancer will do it.
But it depends on what you're outsourcing for. Example, like if you are running a tech company, right? Example. I mean, it's also good to have a homegrown, or not say homegrown, but a developer that is in-house all the time,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Like there's always in his desk, and also researching on what there are, I don't know, new features to implement or stuff
But
like that.
yeah, but some of these SMEs, they can't afford to have a full team of developers.
Correct.
So it ends up, if they want to run like multiple projects at one time, it's like virtually impossible because they have
Yes,
2 or 3 developers and they can't be possibly running 5 projects or 6 projects. And then they end up, outsourcing to overseas developers who do it online. They'll do it for a fixed fee, and then they'll send it to you in like 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
And it's usually quite good quality work.
It is very good. I have friends who I have a friend who is starting his own startup and he is also outsourcing via the freelance app called Upwork. So it's the same as Fiverr. Have you heard of Fiverr? Right? But it's the same thing. It's all the same thing.
But
Upwork, Fiverr, stuff like
Fiverr, does it work in Singapore?
That one I'm not sure, but I've tried Upwork.
I thought it's an American thing.
I'm not sure about on Fiverr, but I know Upwork works
perfectly
fine. Yeah. So, okay. So I have another question on this one. You know how rising cost of Singapore is? I mean, cost of living in Singapore is rising. Sorry for my shit English. Okay, so there is a Channel News Asia article that says Gen Z in Singapore struggles with housing affordability as they support parents and save for their own future. So they're juggling both sides.
I don't know if Gen Z is buying house, yeah.
And no, but I think they are more.
Are they including like the 96, 97?
No, but I think they're more outward looking. I know that the sandwich generation is 30 to 45, but I think it's a chain effect, isn't it? It's a butterfly effect. The phenomenon like carries on for the different generation, because I think Gen Zs are also influenced by traditional outlook by our parents, right? I mean, we are Gen Zs, right?
Yeah.
And also they also have to look at right now the job market is very, very insecure. It's very hard to find jobs and stuff like that.
But
so I think they have
in Singapore, I would say for Gen Z especially, I would say if you're a uni graduate and you graduate from a good course, I would say it's not that bad.
Well, did you see the unemployment fresh grads? Like the amount
I didn't check the latest stats.
The amount of fresh grads I think increased last year. From between
but
last
you see
year and this year,
the
I
ones
think
who get
increased,
employed, the ones who get employed, their salaries keep going up.
Of course, because it's inflation, what?
But if I'm not wrong, I was watching a video on this. A minister explained where the rise in salary is higher than the rise of inflation. So you are still getting like a surplus.
Yeah, of course.
So,
that's called real wage growth. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't know the term for that.
That's called real wage growth, which is your salary is always still higher than the rate of inflation is going. So that is, you're always in a positive gap, in a sense. You're in the positive gap, which is good, correct? But I think the issue of this question is, how will Gen Zs that graduate from unis now, right? How are they going to find a job now? I think that is the big question now, because it is proven statistics, by the way, between I think 2 years ago and last year's statistic, because this year is 7, but I think it was an increase of 1%, a whole percent of unemployment rate for fresh grads, undergrads basically. So they do not even get to find a job for that.
I think we've had this convo before with another friend of ours, where we are discussing skills via a degree.
Yes.
And I think the key thing we had from that conversation was skills will definitely be a crucial part of getting a job. And I think that is another crucial argument I'm going to bring up here, where simply having a degree is no longer enough. And I think a skill-based workforce is going to be the future now, because right now you have to prove that you can do better or do the exact same job as AI can do with the same efficiency.
Yeah.
And if you're or you have to choose a field where you cannot be replaced by AI. Like for example, we are in cybersecurity. You have to become an auditor, because you will be auditing the AI in the future.
Yes.
And you cannot be replaced because you need that human in the loop to make sure that the AI is ethical. So in terms of the job market, right, I would say right now the key part to getting a job is definitely you have to have more than just a degree. You need a portfolio, you need skills, you need interview skills, you need soft skills. You need to be a well-rounded individual. It's no longer just about education.
I think it's not even just about skills. Skills can bring you to maybe levels of a very high AI, your iPhone storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, one sec. Mine is still recording, luckily. Okay, but yeah, okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, but I think skills can only bring it so far lah. I think every individual right now still needs to have something called the creative mind. I think innovation is going to be the one that's going to differentiate you and the AI, because AI cannot come up with necessarily very good innovations.
Can you expand on what you mean creative? Because creative, you can refer to like arts. You can refer to
creative as
anything.
in like you need to have a very innovative mind.
Critical thinking.
Not just that. Critical thinking as in critical thinking is for like example, if I throw something at you and you need to do it very quickly, that's critical thinking, right? But I think my point is more of creative mind, as in you must have a very innovative mind. Very innovative. So example, you work at a tech company, right? And you are a developer.
Yeah.
You cannot be stuck in a for loop of just creating things the same way as you are doing. You have to have more
I get what you mean.
features. You get what I'm saying?
You need to go beyond your job scope.
Yeah, you have to, man.
You
You
need
have to further
to-
improve yourself.
Yeah, and you need, I would say you need to find the most, like I was saying, the most efficient, creative, out of the box way to get the task done ahead of you.
And I think that's what future companies will be looking at.
Yeah,
Because repetitive tasks like logistics,
everything can be done by AI.
everything is done by AI. Like,
So you have to prove my method is better than what your AI can do.
Correct.
And talking about doing what's beyond your job scope, what do you think about quiet quitting? It was like a kind of like a trending
quiet
thing.
what? Sorry?
Quiet quitting.
Quiet critique.
Quitting.
Quiet quitting.
So I'll explain to you. It was trending like towards the end of 2023 and 2024 start.
Okay.
So it's basically where Gen Z workers and millennials, some of the younger millennials, they were refusing to do anything beyond their job scope.
Oh my god.
So let's say I'm a software developer and my boss comes to me urgently and says, "Can you make a pitch deck for our investors?"
Okay.
I will say no because
It's
my
not
job
in
is to
your job
code.
scope.
My job is to code.
Oh, this is okay. This one is very.
So this was a very trendy topic in early 2024. Now the fervor around it has kind of died off.
Okay.
But I think it's still a thing. It's still a
Why
lot of Gen Z people.
Why not I hear
lazy.
your opinion first, then mine?
Yeah.
Why not I hear your opinion on quiet quitting first?
I get their point because you need the work-life balance, and you can't be at your boss's service 24 hours a day, and there's a point where it gets too much. But at the same time, if you want to rise up the corporate ladder or you want to make a name for yourself, you have to be a nice person. You have to be accommodating. You need to be flexible. And if you're just going about refusing to do stuff just because it's not in my contract, then you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I definitely agree with that. But I mean, your point is more of stepping out of their comfort zones, right?
100%.
Yeah,
and no, you just need to show your work ethic because, like you said right now, the job market is very fragile.
Okay.
So if you're quiet quitting, why won't they just fire you and hire the newest fresh grad who is begging for a job?
Okay, why? I agree and I disagree with you. Yes, I agree that we should step out of comfort zones and climb up the corporate ladder, right? I mean, that has been the system, and that has been the whole cycle of things, right? In the corporate world, right? Yes, I agree, but I think employees do have the right to reject. Because fresh grads, I think
I don't disagree with that.
But
you have to be adaptable.
Right? Yeah. But if we are fresh grads, like example, we will just take on any job. Because why? We need the experience, we need to do things.
Yeah.
But let's say if you are a seasoned employee with over 20 years experience, and you know that your boss is trying to push more work onto you without increasing your pay, what would be your views on that?
Well,
he's just making life difficult for you.
Yeah, once I'm 20 years, I would say I would have enough job security and experience to know my worth. And if he's taking the make out of me, I'll quit, honestly. But
you would quit in this job market. In this job market, by the way,
because even if you end up having a sideways move or even a slightly lower pay, the job satisfaction will be far higher than being stuck somewhere you're unhappy. And immediately quit is a bit drastic, but if it's a continuing trend, then yes, of course. because experience is something that is extremely vital now as in the job market.
Okay.
And despite it looking quite bleak, there are lots of people who take such an experienced individual. There are lots of companies who take, but this quiet quitting trend is among the younger generations. What I'm saying, the Gen Z and the millennials. So these are the ones, they're fresh grads. They just go into the job, and just 1 year, 2 years in,
They're rejecting stuff.
they're rejecting stuff. And
Really?
yeah.
I would say it's the older
And
generation.
they're refusing to work. One hour or one task more than their work time. You get what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
But I think it goes beyond millennials as well, I think it goes
Really?
I think it even goes to our parents' generation, Gen X as well, because they are so seasoned. They know that how things and how the business is run in the company, right? They know that there is no need, absolutely no need for them to do other tasks.
Yeah.
In a sense, because within their job scope, within their job contract, I think it's listed, right? And I think they know better than themselves, that they only need to do, let's say, task A, B, and C, and there's no need for task D.
Yes,
but I think that mindset has to be changed in the future, definitely, even for us, and I mean, I would argue that fresh grads will be more willing to do things, though. Don't you think?
Really? Yeah. No, but I'm just sharing
Your
trend,
experiences. I mean,
the trend I heard about.
What you see and what I see is completely different, right? That's how life works, right? You see different things and I see different things, and I respect that.
As a fresh grad, like you said, I will be more open to
that's for me, man.
I'll be more
man.
I'll be more open to glaze my boss a bit, do whatever they want.
Yeah, honestly,
because you can't really afford to be this unlikable person in this.
I think I know why, because I think in the 2023 job market, I think it wasn't that bad. That's why people will be quiet quitting in a sense, because they know that jobs right now, jobs then were much easier to find than now, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think that's the argument here, right? I mean, right now, if we are quiet quitting, where the fuck can we go, bro? Where the fuck can we go? There's literally nowhere we can go. Okay, but what I mean, regarding the question that we asked just now, right? How does the cost of living?
Yeah, actually, we went a bit off track.
Yeah, we went a bit off track, I mean, we were talking about housing affordability as well, as part of the article.
I think the housing. I'm no housing expert, but I think the housing market will start to cool down.
Will start to cool down
because it's right now it's quite high, but I think the bubble will crash. I think the bubble will crash.
100% agree with you.
Yeah, because
and I have very, very deep knowledge on the on the real estate market. You ask me anything, I can answer you. Yes, I'm 18, but you ask me anything, I can answer.
Okay, so then can you maybe explain for the viewers and me, of course?
Yes.
Because I know I would say I don't really read in depth. I read articles. I read the whole thing, of course, but I don't go into further research. So I understand that yes, there's currently it's still rising. Okay. But they're projected to crash in the next few years. So explain why it's going to crash.
Let's start off with how high the real estate market is right now. So, example, there are many new launches of condos, private condos, private condos and executive condos. If you don't know what executive condos are, for our new viewers as well, executive condos are under the HDB scheme as well, but it's condos that will be privatized after 10 years or 5 years.
Is it like the Pinnacle at Duxton?
That was...
Or is that still a HDB?
No, that's an HDB. That's an HDB, and that's not a condo. But example, there is the newest executive condo. Short form is EC.
Or is it EA?
The real estate is in the very euphoric stage right now. I think right now it's in the very euphoric. For example, there are many statistics new launches of condos, right? You see long queues at the new launches, and 90% of the flats are sold within the first stage.
Wow.
90%. I'm no kidding, no joke.
So are these buyers 90%. Younger buyers or
these are like
younger buyers?
I would say of course, all over there's new there are new like young buyers, there's millennials, there's Gen X, anything. But I think the true question is why are Singaporeans so rich to buy so many condos that are launching
Housing
by the
properties,
month.
yeah.
Right now the condos are launching by the month. Example,
And
there is
I've heard these buyers are like second time buyers as well. There's a lot of second time buyers
yes,
who get
yes,
condos.
yes.
So they live currently in HDB, then they buy the condo, then they move into the condo and they use HDB for rental or whatever.
Yeah, but I think
So
the real estate market the real estate market was booming. I think from all the way from I think 3 years back until now. I think after COVID, I think the market started to revive right after COVID, and then people started to buy houses, and up until now, the real estate market is at the very euphoric moment. But I think it's going to drop, as you said.
Yeah.
Why? Because I think with all the Trump tariffs and also the stock market uncertainty, do you know real estate market and stock markets, they absolutely hate this one thing called uncertainty. That means they have no
control over.
They have no control,
the
and they cannot predict where it's projected to go, whether up or down. So people would when people face uncertainty, they will hold on to their assets.
Yeah.
And imagine when you hold on to your real estate assets and you don't want to sell it, the whole real estate market goes quiet. The markets go quiet.
So you're saying the prices will drop for sure.
I wouldn't say drop a lot, but I would say remain at this level for quite a long time until it revives and stuff like that. Yes, it will drop by like very marginal, like what, 5%.
Is that not better for us? Because especially BTOs, right? Or the new resale houses, I would say their prices were like quite high. They have introduced new measures to reduce the prices, and there are lots of lot of new BTO estates in Serangoon, Ang Mo Kio, all these areas, good areas, Punggol, and I think as more houses become available, I think the prices will drop, of course.
I think the policies and the regulations that HDB has set, right, and the government has set on these BTOs, I think they're fantastic. I think they're fantastic. I think it forces Singaporeans to not look at BTOs as an investment.
Yeah.
I think in our parents' generation, in my parents' generation, my dad bought his first HDB at around less than 100K.
Oh wow.
Less than 100K. And
this was when?
Insane. I think that was back in 2000, very, very early 2000s. Very, very early 2000s.
If you say that now, it's crazy. Now, I think
less than 100K.
Someone I know got a BTO, and I think the price is 250K for in Tenga, and Tenga is in the middle of nowhere.
It's absolutely crazy.
It's in the middle of nowhere. Next, up on top of you is a cemetery. Below you is Bukit Batok. No one wants to go there. No one is going to meet you there.
Hey, but there's a new line coming soon.
So then, it'll be better. I'm exaggerating a bit.
It's a bit investment, but to be honest, I fucking hate them now. Fucking hate them.
Yeah, but Plantation Plaza, bro. Honestly, yes, it's a sea-bound.
But I would say that yes, housing markets would come down for a while, or maybe or remain at this level for a while. So for all the real estate investors,
chill out,
right? Chill out.
Yeah,
because I think this is when people will not be buying. People will not be buying. I don't think they have spare cash to buy right now. I think because with all the Trump tariffs and all that, I think the whole market, the whole economy, the global economy is going to be shaken for a while. I think definitely in the short term, and maybe, but of course, markets go up, markets also go down, right? And I think now it's going down for a while, and I think it'll be back up like in no time, right?
I think that's good for us because
that's good. That's good.
When we start buying houses, which is in 10 years or so, I think the price will be quite stable.
But right now for millennials, the young
it's a big peak. It's a big peak.
Now it's gonna be. It's painful. It's really painful for them. I think I mean my cousin is a millennial. I think she's in her young 30s.
Oh,
I think haven't even 30s or something. She struggles with buying a house right now because even BTO you need to wait.
Yeah.
Right.
And you need to get your contractor. The contractor is going to be expensive as well.
Yeah. And what if the contractors fail, right? And after they go bankrupt and ciao. And then you need to find another contractor.
And then half your house is done. And this guy has.
And then you need to wait again. Oh my god! Then you need to collect the keys. Will be like what, 7 years? No way, bro. Honestly, but I think I mean the government is trying to work their best to reduce the BTO wait times, which I respect.
Do you hear about the measure? I don't remember the name, so you have to help me.
Sure,
I only remember the measures. I don't remember the terms. So there was a measure by the government where they are releasing a certain type of houses which is cheaper, and because they're in like less accessible areas for now. Like
that is
not near my house. I think it's a bit like 3 km away from my house. There's like a new BTO which falls under that category.
Okay.
So if you buy it there, you get it for a discount because it's like the north side is less popular than a central.
Absolutely got it. That is the policy that was created, I think, 2 years back when Lawrence Wong came out to say in the National Day rally, or I think in the budget 2020 something, right? He was saying this new policy for the real estate, more in particular of the BTOs.
Yeah.
It's called the standard, plus, and prime, right? So, example, if the one you're seeing near your estate is
standard, I think
not a good location, right? Maybe they're standard.
No, is I wouldn't say it's not a good. It's not a bad location.
Facilities,
but I would say the facility around it is not much.
Okay, so I think maybe it falls.
Do you know Singaporean shopping center?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
No idea,
exactly. That is where the BTO is. So
no idea, brother.
It's a bit peak because around it is all real estate.
Near Sunday Plaza, no.
Not near Sun Plaza. So it is. I think if you turn right, then it's a bit inside, and it's all landed property in a line. So there's absolutely nothing there. It's this one shopping center, and then that's all. I mean, the bus access is good, but there's no MRT there. You have to take a bus to the MRT, and they'll take in rush hour. They'll take like 10 minutes.
I would say that is standard. Okay, but there is a very, very interesting policy that the government has set for this. So standard, I think they give you 5 years of MOP. MOP meaning minimum occupation period.
Yeah.
So they stay inside. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I have knowledge on the real estate market, but I'm not an expert. Okay. So I think after 5 years of MOP, you can sell it off.
Yeah.
And then you can make your big buck lah, something like that lah, right? But they are cheap and they cannot increase by much.
That's
so
my house, I think, because my house is quite a new estate and we bought it actually before the MOP. Like the deal was finalized before the MOP, so we had to wait for a month or two to sign all the documents and get the keys.
But I think your
so it's quite
location
fresh.
is okay though, no? Right?
Yeah, but my location is good, but the thing is there's construction going on. So
it doesn't matter. I think yours will categorize.
But mine is like it's plus. Yeah,
I believe it's plus. Yeah. I believe it's plus. I think mine as well. And okay, so standard, plus, and prime, right? Prime is
central, CBD.
Central, you would say central. Yeah. And even like not even central, doesn't have to be central. Example, we look at
a good
Little
location.
India. Little India, like Kallang area.
Yes, a good
even
place.
Though it's not like in the CBD or anything, but it's a
very well connected. Very well connected.
And that will categorize.
I just drove past a new BTO in Little India. It looks very good.
Yeah. So that will categorize on the prime. Now for plus and prime, there's one very painful move made by the government, which is the MOP period will increase from 5 years to 10 years of minimum occupation period. So they strictly regulate these BTOs to be mainly for stay. Really mainly for stay. Because right now I think a lot of Singaporeans are looking for their next big pot of cash, right?
Yeah.
Then they always look at real estate and then they look at BTOs. I'm a first timer, I just buy it and I get grants and all that. Things like that. And under the new scheme, the grants have to be returned. Really. The grants that the government grant you, example, you...
So it's like a loan, but no interest, I would assume.
Yeah. The grants must be returned. So, I mean...
Is it the same for like the discounts you get when you if you move close near your parents? Like I know there's like a distance.
Yes, correct.
There's a 2 or 3 km distance.
Yes,
if you're within the radius, you get a discount, 15% or something.
Not 15%, but I think they give you straight away 20k.
Oh wow.
Straight away 20k. But I mean, that's not 15%. I think it's like 10% maybe.
Yeah.
If you're buying like a 20k,
a small 200k house.
20k, small 200k house, that's 10%, right? But if you go 5 room or something, then maybe 5% or something like that. So, I think the housing market right now is it's booming, but the government is trying to tighten it as much as possible.
So here's a fun little question to lighten up the podcast a bit.
Sure.
Interact with the viewers maybe. If you are given a choice to live in one estate or area in Singapore and no budget, and you can choose right now. You can go to a flat, you go inside, your home is ready, you can go sleep already. Which area are you choosing?
Wow.
Top three. Let's have a top 3.
That is hard, brother.
And if you want to give me a particular location, you can give me also. But if you just want to say the general area,
okay.
I think I can go first if you want to think.
Okay, why not we go one?
Can.
Okay, so you give me your top three, I give you my top three.
So in third, I would say I would like to live in Tanjong Rhu or Bayshore.
Really?
I think that place is very nice because it's right next to Marina Bay, but it's considered East Coast.
Yeah.
And that stretch of Tanjong Rhu to Bayshore, I think if it's not on the East Coast Highway, I'm talking about like the apartments a bit further in, I think those would be nice to live in. And it's
Is that near Siglap?
yeah, but I'm talking. Mine is more of like Tanjong Rhu area, which is closer to Marina Bay. So it's like where those high-rise apartments are. But I think there are HDBs as well around there. So I would like to live there. If it's a BTO.
Ah, sorry?
If it was a BTO, yes. But there are a lot of older HDBs there, which maybe not ideal. But it's still nice. It's still a very nice place in terms of location.
Honestly, I don't even mind, man, staying in an older HDB because they're bigger.
Yeah,
Because they're
of
bigger.
course, of course.
But if
you
you're
need to
giving
spend
me,
a lot of renovation.
But if you're giving me unlimited budget, as in your question,
Yeah.
I would, of course, live landed is definitely right. But if we are looking realistic, a condo would definitely be nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Those Tanjong Rhu condos would be very nice, I would say.
I think my top three,
So if you give me a third one first, then I'll go second.
Ooh, I want to live. Okay, I hate the west side, by the way. I fucking hate the west side. Anything but the west
That's
side.
an odd, man.
I fucking hate the west side. West side, sorry.
Good English.
I think I would go for my old house area, top three, which is
Serangoon North.
which is the Serangoon Gardens, Serangoon North.
I remember you told me there's going to be an MRT in Cross Island Station.
That
there,
is purely
right?
out of nostalgia, sorry.
Yeah.
That's purely out of nostalgia, and I think I'll put it top three.
Is the estate nice? Can you give me a location so I know where exactly? Like, give me a landmark. Is it near Next?
No, it is near. Okay, it's almost in between Hougang and Serangoon North. So you just look at Bowen. Bowen's like, I think it's very near my house. Yeah. Yeah lah. I mean, it's a very neighborhood kind of thing lah.
So on Yio Chu Kang Road lah.
Not much going on there lah. Yeah, not much going on there. But
I think it's quite nice.
I think it's really mainly out of nostalgia.
Yeah,
and
but I feel the Yio Chu
MRT
Kang road in general
it's
is a bit boring.
Is it Yio Chu Kang Road?
Yeah, it is.
It's Ang Mo Kio Road, isn't it? Oh, you mean that part?
Yeah.
Correct.
Hougang Avenue 8, all that.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's okay. Let's look at the Singapore map to have a more clearer
view.
View lah.
I'll give you my second one.
Sure, go ahead.
So what's your third one? Or do you only give one?
Serangoon.
Okay.
Serangoon.
Okay. The next one, like you were saying, Kalang or Little India. I think the Novena Kalang,
you wanna live there?
Yeah, that little triangle there is actually a very convenient location.
Okay.
Because it's quite easily connected.
Practically go anywhere.
Yeah, it's very easily connected everywhere. Bus or train or anything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of temples, Indian food there, so I can go there out and eat. And I don't eat out a lot. In Woodlands. So talking about the housing and HDB and all, let's have a bit more fun segment.
Sure.
Let's talk about top 3 places to live in, and then after that we'll do another segment where we say the top 3 places we would hate to live in. Like mom's life, we're not going there.
I mean, this is on the topic of real estate lah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Go
so you can assume like unlimited budget
okay.
for the places you want to live.
But not realistic since we are talking about fresh grads and like after we graduate, housing affordability is gonna be crazy lah. But I mean, this is just a fun segment, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, can.
Then first off, I'll go with my third pick, which is the Tanjong Rhu to like Tanjong Katong area. I think that's very nice. It's like on the east coast, near Marina Bay, near stadium, and condos, riverside condos. Wow, they look spectacular, man. So that would be like a dream place to live in, of course. Then secondly, one place that I'd love to live in is the like Kalang, Little India, Novena, little triangle there. That would be phenomenal, man. As I was mentioning before, I just drove past a BTO in Little India. It looked damn nice, bro. The neighborhood looked damn nice. And it's well connected everywhere in Singapore. And you get a lot of Indian food. So that's a good thing. Right now, Foodpanda, near us, not a lot of Indian food. If you order it, it'll take quite long to come. And
so you're fatty,
Wow.
So you're fatty, basically.
No, I eat home most of the time. But when you're lazy, you just feel like eating out.
So you're fatty, you want Foodpanda or that?
Shut up.
You want to move
Just see about. So finally, my top area to live is Outram Park, Maxwell area.
Ooh,
That
but there
place
are a
is
lot of
phenomenal,
tourists,
man.
though. A lot of tourists.
I know, but
Okay,
wow,
but
the
previous
neighborhood
two
itself is
fine.
so nice. It's
the,
so nice.
The previous two is fine. Like example, the Katong area.
Uh-huh.
You're talking about Katong area, right?
Yeah.
Katong, Kallang area, and then the Kallang area. Sorry, and then
Not
I mean,
necessarily Kallang, like like Kallang Road, but like
Kallang is fucking long. by the
Little
way.
India, Bendemeer, that part, Lavender around there, Rocher, yeah.
I think the one you're looking at is
near
Little India one, right?
Yeah, from Novena to Little India to Lavender MRT, that triangle.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Like near Kallang itself, probably not.
why not?
There's
Is
a lot.
that-
There's a
that-
lot of
that's-
old
that's very
estates,
near
man.
town
and
already.
there's a lot of old estates, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and nothing much to do. But like
But
Lavender,
your top one is Outram Park area.
of course.
Outram Park, Maxwell.
Tanjong Pagar, that
Tanjong
area.
Pagar, that area,
It's
okay.
really, well, that's like my favorite.
So
one
in
of my
between
favorite
these
places in
three
Singapore.
triangles.
Yeah, to stay at. One of my favorite places. Cause
Ooh.
yeah, the Pinnacle at Duxton. Yeah, I love that estate a lot. So something similar, probably like a BTO around there.
Okay, fair enough. But-
Telok Ayer is nearby. Maxwell Food Center, very.
Telok Ayer, the food there is absolutely
it's
divine. by the
phenomenal.
way. It's love. I
And
love
you
the food
are
there.
you are near Raffles City, the
Yeah,
mall, and
yeah.
so many other places, man. And
Okay,
it's
but-
not exactly CBD yet, so the prices
But
will
it's
be
very
so
near.
steep.
It's very near lah. It's very near lah. But
Yeah.
yeah, near CBD prices already.
My honorable mention would be near my old house, the Bukit Timah area, like King Albert Park, beautiful.
Okay.
It's out of pure nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love staying there. A nice little quiet neighborhood. Bukit Timah Plaza is there.
Okay.
The rail mall.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nearby.
Okay. Why?
And the rail corridor. A lot of greenery around there, man.
I think I would say, if I'm still at my age lah, right, and I can relocate to anywhere in Singapore.
Yeah.
I think my top three are okay. Starting from three first, and then I'll start to progress. When I'm an adult and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for now, if I'm at this age and I can relocate to anywhere I want, I think I will still want to be living in a neighborhood place, which will be, I think, Bishan.
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 Really?
Yes. I think.
But Bishan's quite old,
It doesn't matter if it's old to me, but I like to see the people that's around there. I like to see the facilities that's around there, and I think Bishan has it all, right?
Okay.
There's Junction 8, right?
Elite Mall, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Elite Mall.
there is Junction. Not I wouldn't say elite lah, because it's quite old already lah. But I think the people there.
I'm
are
talking
young.
about the shops.
Yeah.
The shops available.
But I think the people there are there is old people, yes, but a lot of students are in the area. I think
Of course, because
in,
RI is
yeah,
there.
in Bishan, I think it's a lot of tuition centers are there as well. I think-
NYJC is nearby.
Yeah, lah, and I'll feel that if I'm surrounded by students, I think I'll feel more happy lah.
Comfortable.
So that's top three, and I think my top two is if I'm an adult and have unlimited budget. I think I would move to. Okay, you've taken out my idea of Katong, so I'll not use that at all.
Okay.
So I think I'll be thinking of near the Holland area, Bukit Timah area, near the area.
That's another
If I went-
honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Like Tanglin around there.
No, Tanglin is yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a bit far.
Yeah, it's very very far, but Tanglin is another side. But my one is in between. I said Bukit Timah, Holland area. So
So
I
which
think
MRT is the closest?
Food is not a lot. Food options is not a lot.
Like
but-
Buona Vista, you mean?
Yeah. Near that area lah, around
Yeah.
that area lah. Holland, Bukit Timah. So I think the area is a lot of landed, right? So if I unlimited budget, of course, I'll stay a landed.
But I remember you saying you're like a West Side op, no? And Holland Village is a bit west, no?
No.
It's a bit too west,
I wouldn't
likely.
classify West. No. That's almost like
Dover is near Holland Village, man.
that is like no.
Come on.
That's like almost south already, man. And
I
like,
would
that's central.
I would say
south.
Queenstown onwards is central, man. So I would count Holland Village still west, honestly.
What?
Not even Toraru you are.
Okay, then
not
fine.
even Toraru you
I
are.
don't like the extreme west. I fucking hate the extreme west. Like the Jurong West,
Yeah,
Bukit
nah.
Batok, Tengah area.
You're violating. Jurong East is fine.
And
bro.
Choa Chu Kang area. Oh my god! Please don't ever bring me
Hey,
there. Honestly,
come on.
Like
That's
honestly,
Lawrence Wong area, bro. Come on.
Bro, I hate it, bro. Honestly, please don't bring me there ever. Bro. Okay, but honestly, these two areas, top two and top 3. My top one will be, of course lah. If unlimited budget, and I can stay at wherever I want, it'll be Tanglin area. the GCB area. I
Thank
mean, why would anybody not want to live in a GCB, right? Look at all the billionaires and do you know Facebook's co-founder Eduardo Severin, right? He's living there, you know.
Oh wow, I didn't even know he's in Singapore.
Yeah, he's in Singapore, you know.
Oh wow.
And yeah, he avoided capital gains tax that was not introduced in the US before he sold off his shares. So he legally avoided, I think, 700 million or 800 million worth of capital gains tax.
Oh wow.
To come Singapore with a country with 0% capital gains tax. Wow. So he sold when he was in Singapore, and then he don't even get taxed. So that it was literally like his loophole lah. But yeah, that's a side note lah. But and I mean, I would love to live in Tanglin area. And honorable mention would be Sentosa.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, you know. But I would say it's quite disconnected. It feels like
it's disconnected, but
it feels like it's a bit peak, you know. Imagine
you get a peace and tranquility there. You get a peace and tranquility there.
Yeah, imagine you're working.
Yeah, like,
and then you need to take the monorail to work.
No lah, bro. Come on, if you're living there, you wouldn't.
Or you could afford a car.
You easily afford a car, and I think Sentosa can be.
But there's a lot of tourists, like you said. In like Maxwell, right? There's a lot of tourists.
No, but the places that you'll be living.
Oh yeah, it's a bit
Sentosa
secluded.
is more secluded, right? Yeah, so. That's maybe when you retire.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, when you retire.
Nice,
that'll be nice. And I mean, I don't know if I'll retire in Singapore lah. Will you retire in Singapore?
I think I told you this before. I would like to retire in like a Nordic country, you know, like live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere where not even a rat's ass is there. Yeah.
Really, I think you're still about a city life though. I see the personality, right?
Yeah, right now I'm about city life. But once I'm old, right, I would like to do nothing. I mean, of course, there must be internet. Like I knew watch football and stuff, but I want to be
Nordic. Good luck, man. Good money network there, bro.
I want to live in the middle of nowhere in Norway. You know, not even Oslo. Nowhere. Like when it snows, right, my house must be covered in snow.
So you'll be finding.
I must be snowed in.
So what will you be eating? You're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Or convert already. Go and eat salmon, right? Norwegian salmon.
You can just get grocery, you know, from the.
But you have to try the Norwegian salmon, bro. Come on, fresh.
I'm not trying salmon at all.
Yeah, one day when
salmon.
Salmon. I said salmon. I said salmon.
I
did not say salmon. I did not say salmon. No. Did not say salmon. Salmon. Okay.
In the edit, whoever's editing, please.
We'll get our editor look through that. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I think this is my top 3 and 1 honorable mention.
Yeah. Let's talk about the horror places.
Worst places.
So my first one is Punggol Coast. I tell you first.
Bro.
Oh my! It's so peak.
It's not even that bad, bro.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's worse than Pasir Ris.
It's not that bad. Yeah, you're dragging it.
You have one line, bro, and there's there's no buses there, and honestly, I feel like it's such an awkward place to live. Yeah. Like you can only like the best district you can go to which is nearby is like Tampines.
But you're talking about the more newer videos there, right? At the Punggol Coast, right? Not at Punggol, right?
No.
Oh yeah.
That
was the one with surrounded by monkeys and stuff.
Yeah. That one. Yeah, the monkey attack happened. If you don't know, you go check out Mothership.
Yeah, correct.
I tell you, if I live in Punggol Coast, I might end it. Then my next one is wait, let me think hard about this. So next one is like probably.
Did you say Pasir Ris just now?
Huh?
You said Pasir Ris just now?
No, my Pasir Ris was gonna be a honorable mention. You know,
honorable mention.
Yeah, like Loyang area.
Honorable, okay, can.
You know Loyang area? Wow. Why would you say Loyang, bro?
Loyang don't even have like estates, bro.
I know, but like next to it, bro. Like Pasir Ris East, Pasir Ris East.
Okay.
Like Loyang Point is there, what?
Okay, there are a few landed there lah.
Yeah. On my life, I would never ever stay there.
I think that's almost near.
That's so peak, man.
Pasir Ris East,
yeah.
That's almost venturing out to Changi Village, that side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Changi Beach area side.
Horror place.
Horror place lah.
Yeah.
Next, Loyang is very niche place, I would say. Yeah.
And then that's my HM. Then my next one is Pioneer. Wow, Pioneer. What are you doing, man? Why do you live at Pioneer? Tell me. If anyone watching here knows someone's living at Pioneer, What are they doing? Why are they there?
It's Pioneer in UT.
Unless
is
you
it?
no. It's
Sorry,
like it's
I
like
don't
just
know,
below.
I don't know about West Side.
It's
Fuck
like
West Side. Fuck West Side. I don't know
it's
West
like
Side.
odd, man. West side is fine, bro.
Fuck West Side. East Side,
Nah.
West Side. East Side, West Side. West
see
Side,
bao,
back
bro.
side.
It's
West Side is back side.
like what the Jurong East, the Pioneer. Oh my god! I think till Boon Lay you're fine. Pioneer onwards, yeah, right. Put the fries in the bag, bro. Just put my
The
fries.
only place I resonate with the West Side is the place where I'm and Westgate. That one.
Yeah, you're a cloud chaser,
That's
basically.
it.
You're a cloud chaser.
That's it.
Like just everyday
Where I
window
get my
shopping.
boots and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
No, I would
that's
agree.
it.
Jurong is elite, man. Jurong is elite.
But
I
Jurong
live
is very big lah.
I don't know if I think I mentioned it just now.
mad big.
I live at Beauty World last time, and always we go to like Bukit Batok, Jurong East for
Okay.
shopping.
Yeah.
And wow, the childhood memories, man. It's a super nice place to live. And my school was at Jurong East as well, just below Jurong East actually.
Okay.
And yeah, so
top one? What's
wow,
your top one?
Pioneer, just wrap it up, man.
Oh, that's your top one, right?
And no, that's my second one. And my top one is you know, like the Kembangan, Eunos area. Yeah, just Ubi, Eunos, just wrap it up, bro. I'm not saying that, bro.
Sorry.
As Bedok is still okay.
Sorry,
Bedok
what,
is
you say
still okay.
Kembangan?
Yeah, like Eunos. Nah, come on, bro. I got a point here. Like, who is staying at Sims Avenue, bro? Who is staying at Ubi Avenue 1, bro?
Nah.
Who is staying near
there is no
Maju
need,
Street
there is
Secondary?
no need for Kembangan here, bro. I tell
Nah.
you, there is no need for Kembangan here. I have friends that they are
It's
living in
so
Kembangan.
peak,
bro.
man. You live at Ubi,
bro.
You live at Ubi, Eunos.
Ubi is fine. Ubi is fine. Ubi Eunos is fine.
I would say that collective areas at Kembangan, you know. Last time when the downtown line is not there, Kembangan is the MRT they'll go to.
Bro, Kembangan is not even bad, bro.
It's
it's quite old. I would say it's okay.
It's
but,
so old.
But the landed there are quite nice.
And it's dead, bro. It's dead. There's nothing there, bro. Maybe like
But it's near. I think it's quite relatively near to Siglap or East Coast area, right?
yeah, but East Coast area is fine.
So it's not nothing.
Come on, man.
So it's not nothing. Fine, Eunos and all that, fine. But
Eunos and Ubi, right? Peak. Maybe I'm a bit harsh on Kembangan, but Ubi and Eunos, I'm never staying there.
fuck you with your
In
Kembangan,
general, East Coast.
hate, bro.
In general, East Coast. I'm not a huge fan of the East Coast, but I don't mind Tampines. I think Tampines is a nice place. Bedok also is a nice
Wait,
place.
it doesn't make sense. You don't like. Okay, wait. Your top three was East Coast area, and then you don't like Kembangan. What the fuck? They're so close to each other, bro. Nah. This guy is like. This
No,
guy is taking.
it was Southeast, bro. My
Look
top
at
three was
how
Southeast.
Look at how close Kembangan and East Coast is, by the way. They are like that. East Coast Road is here.
But
Kembangan is here.
Katong
You're taking a- you're taking a piss.
Katong
You're
and
taking a piss.
Katong and Kembangan is not that clear. Bro.
taking a
It's
piss,
not
bro.
that close, bro.
Nah. You're taking a piss, by the way.
I'm not, bro.
You're taking a piss.
But
Okay.
actually, but Punggol Coast, the only reason I didn't put it one, right? I really was gonna put it one. It's because of
Hater, bro.
It's because of the Punggol Digital District. I think it will pop off. Right? They're developing something crazy
Yeah.
there, bro.
Yeah.
And if I end up working there, obviously I have to end up living there. Then like, wow.
What? No, you don't have to. You can live anywhere in Singapore. Just that
That's
your
true,
traveling time
but it's
time
a
and
bit peak, man.
It's small lah.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my worst three.
Okay, I think my top three is
You, I
Okay,
thought me worst three.
you started from top three, top
Yeah,
two, top
yeah.
and then top one, right? I'll just straight up.
Okay,
go
all
for
three.
top one. I'll go for
Okay.
top one. Yishun. Straight up.
Shut up, man. It's not that bad.
Yishun is just
Bro,
I'll
Yishun-
never live
Nah,
in
but
Yishun.
Yishun
Don't
is-
ever, you will never catch me living in Yishun, Mary.
But Yishun is popping off, bro.
You tell me, would you live in Yishun? Would you? That's right.
Nah,
you
no,
wouldn't.
but-
You wouldn't.
Nah, bro.
You wouldn't also.
You're
you wouldn't,
violating
you wouldn't.
my fellow Yishunites, bro.
Doesn't matter. You wouldn't live in Yishun. You are also violating that.
No, but like I'm not hating on it. Like
Like the
ideally,
amount of, like,
ideally I would not live
The
there.
amount of black magic that's happening there, right? What the fuck, man?
Black magic is crazy, bro.
The amount of black magic that's happening there is crazy, right?
Nah, bro. Come on, bro.
Like,
There's North Point. North Point is an elite mall, bro.
Okay, North Point and some of the food is fine, but bro, when you go in to Yishun, right, there's the aura around it, man. Like
What
you,
aura,
you,
bro?
you
What
don't
aura?
feel safe. You don't feel safe.
Nah.
You feel like you will get
No,
raped.
even if you say like cut it, right?
Nah, you feel like you will
even
get
if you say
raped, gang.
cut it or something, I will understand, bro. Cause like, wow, right next to it is Seletar. Like, what you gonna do there? The Seletar Reservoir. But like, still, come on, man.
I think the only good thing about Yishun is it's near Sembawang. I think Sembawang is fine.
Sembawang is nice, bro.
Sembawang is fine because there's the
I'm
hot,
like a
hot
proud,
spring.
yeah.
There's a hot spring. Which
I'm
is
a proud
okay.
Sembawang person, you
It's
know.
okay.
I technically live close to the Admiralty, but I always say I'm from Sembawang.
Fair.
Technically,
Then that's my top one.
yeah.
I think my top two would be. It would just be the west side, really.
Really?
Choa Chu Kang.
Yeah. Are you talking about like Choa Chu Kang GRC or like you're talking?
Like
You're
like the
including
area,
UT,
like the area.
UT Kranji. Are you including
No,
that?
okay. I'll mention it. Choa Chu Kang UT area, that whole area there, is the worst.
No, you
Second
can't.
worst
Bro,
for me.
I have friends who live in Choa Chu Kang. You can't violate them.
I'll
like
put
that.
in Bukit Panjang as well. I'll put in Bukit Panjang.
Are you
as well.
serious?
Yes.
Bukit Panjang has a downtown line. It has Helion. It has Hillview 2.
No one cares.
It has BPP.
No one cares.
I used to go to Bukit Panjang
No
a
one
lot,
cares.
so I'll defend Bukit Panjang.
No one cares.
Even Choa Chu Kang is a bit, I don't really care.
The only mall they have there is Hillion Mall.
No, they have Hillview 2. There's
No one-
Bukit
no
Panjang
one's been
Plaza.
there. No one's been there. No
A
one's been
lot
there
of
as well.
people have been there.
No one's been there.
A lot.
People have been to Hillion Mall, fan of, but no one will go to.
Nah, but Bukit Panjang, you have so much. It's a decent place, bro. It's a decent place. Nah, but I will agree with you a bit on Choa Chu Kang. I will agree with you a bit. But UT, don't violate, bro. That's where my
UT
gym
has
is,
nothing.
bro.
No,
That's
no,
where my
UT
gym is, bro.
UT has nothing. You tell me one thing UT has. You tell
Choa
me
Chu
one
Kang
thing.
Active SG Sports Center.
You tell me what
Choa
does
Chu
UT
Kang
have?
Active SG
What
Sports
does
Center.
UT have? What does UT have?
Choa Chu Kang Active SG Sports Center.
What does fucking UT have? You tell me.
Choa Chu Kang Active.
No, the word UT has to be inside. Not Choa Chu Kang. I'm not the one.
Nah,
Choa Chu Kang. UT. What does UT have? Tell me.
UT,
Go on.
UT
Go on.
point.
Go on. UT point. Nah, that's goofy,
Yeah,
bro.
hell no. No, but honestly, you can't violate. You can't violate, bro.
Nah, there's nothing at UT. Okay,
No,
I
but
think-
I will agree with you. The estates are a bit dead.
I think my top 3 would be
Then what's your last one?
my last one. I stay near Sengkang, Yio Chu Kang area, but more in Sengkang lah. I stay in Sengkang area. I will go Sengkang.
Nah.
Sengkang is
Betraying
the
your
worst.
own kind.
This Sengkang is like my top 3 worst, honestly.
But you
There's
are like,
nothing in Sengkang, you know.
but
there's
you're like
nothing
near
in
Jalan
Sengkang.
Kayu, no?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That
It's just
counts
that one
Sengkang.
street.
That counts as Sengkang, man.
Jalan Kayu is just one street, by the way.
Oh, fair enough.
That's it, by the way.
Fair enough.
And yeah, Sengkang, man. Wait, everybody living in Sengkang will know that there's nothing there. Legit, there's nothing there.
They have an LRT though. Just saying.
So what? So
Just
what?
saying. So,
what?
surely
so what?
there's something there.
No, there's nothing
Compass one?
there. Sengkang is just
Compass
full,
one?
Sengkang is full of HDBs, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Full of
I
HDBs.
agree.
And the food option also not a lot. Then the what? The malls option also not a lot.
What
you
about-
got, wait,
bro.
you got fucking Rivervale Mall. I think that's the smallest mall in Singapore, bro. I swear I got.
Really?
Plaza. I think it's Plaza or Mall. I think Plaza, bro. I tell you, bro. That's the worst mall in Singapore, bro. There's nothing inside one, bro. Oh my god, man.
But what about Sengkang General Hospital though?
What about it?
Like,
What? That's
is-
a hospital. That means it's what? It's the best place to live in. Nah, hell no, bro.
Sengkang Riverside Park? Come on, bro.
In terms of entertainment, it's absolutely nothing.
Okay,
me.
fair,
Trust
fair,
me,
fair.
there's nothing. There's
So I've been to Sengkang twice in my life, so I
in your
wouldn't know.
life twice only. Good, you don't need to come here.
Yeah, bro.
No
Punggol,
point,
Punggol
no
maybe
point.
not even once, bro. So yeah. Okay, I think that's all for this section. Do let me know if you guys want more fun sections like this.
Yeah.
We are planning on playing more like geographical games as well, like world guesser. Let us know if you want to see that. Or
Drop a comment lah. What kind of games
yeah,
you guys?
what
would
kind
like
of
to
games
see
you guys?
lah.
So the next episode is done by me, so I'll implement some games.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let me know what kind of games you guys want to see. And with that, this comes to the end of the second episode of Anything Lah. Anything for you to say?
Nope, absolutely not. See y'all next week.
Yes, sir.